But yeah, supporting Rambo, man. So this one will be coming out, yeah, on the 23rd. Which, in essence, is the third act of the movie. The 23rd of January, 2008. So this is, wait, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. This is what, 7 years? 7 years since Rambo 4?
Okay,
I think
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 years now.
Yeah.
7 years.
So supporting Rambo takes place 7 years ago.
No, it takes place. The storyline takes place while the release of Rambo 4.
Yeah.
And it kind of deals with the stuff going on today in Hollywood that was going on at that time about going on like with ageism and generational issues and entertainment versus art and stuff like that, and it really captures around those issues about because it's about how Rambo's return by the fourth movie kind of creates some attention that how some older people are excited and young people are against it. It kind of creates that generational tension between different those diversities, I think that is called, and it's an issue that no one talks about much. Mostly in movies or on the news, they talk about racism and homophobia, the stuff about against gays and stuff like that. But But this is an issue that has not been mentioned much. Ageism and generational issues. So I think we are the first to touch around those issues. It's like the same thing with Do the Right Thing. How it was a movie about racial tension in New York. But this movie supporting Rambo is like Do the Right Thing, but instead it deals with generational tension about age.
And it's important. It's important too because that's what brings everyone together, in a sense. Because we know, all the characters know, how good that one thing was when it was before. So they already know that when it comes back, it's going to be just as good. And having to constantly battle against the new people or the new generation that's all Katy Perry and wants to, sorry, Katy Perry.
or Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. And it's a great story. It's a story. It's a good coming of age story and a story about finding where you belong, and it's awesome.
And it's a comedy, so it's also hilarious. It's a funny comedy.
Yeah. Lots of old school jokes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's kind of like a throwback to those comedies that we miss about rebellion. About coming of age rebellion. like with Meatballs and Animal House. Those Stripes. Those classic comedies by Harold Ramis. May he rest in peace. I love Egon. The Ghostbusters is one of my favorites, and so it's like a throwback to those type of comedies that we don't see very well on.
Yep. Couldn't have said better myself. It's just a great story too. It's just like, it's so original. Like, I don't know where you thought this stuff up from, but it's just so original. And to not have one main character, to have, it's kind of like 3 entities, but like your first and second main character, but the third entity is like almost 20 different people. It's like 18 people or 19 people as the third character. So it's very, very cool. It's going to be something really different than what people have seen.
Yes, indeed, absolutely. And going to the main character that just starts off focusing on, her name is Blair, and she's like in her mid-20s or maybe early 20s, and she and she's had a rough past, and she decides to run away from it, and she enters this town called the Wolf Den, which which of course is a reference to First Blood Part 2, where of course Rambo's on the radio after he saves the prisoners, and he says, "Wolf calling Wolf Den over." So it has a reference to that, and she enters this town where she's trying to start a new life and stuff like that, and she meets up with these people. This one guy, Max, he runs the motel that she stays at, and he sees something different about her because he's a psychic. He has psychic abilities, and it is exposed later that he's an obsessed Rambo fan who created this community of a Rambo fan club, fans of Rambo, and and of course they're excited about Rambo's return, but they're also they despise the fact that a young generation, not just a young generation, but there's some people who are against Rambo, and they definitely despise those type of people, and they rant about how the stuff going on in Hollywood and in America, and how it ain't what it used to be, how Rambo was put on the back burner, like then these other action heroes, he was put on the back burner, how he kind of led the way for those type of action heroes, but he was like put on the back burner like Superman was, how he was the alpha, but he was put on the back burner, so people don't talk about him or forget about him, or they've forgotten about him. So it deals with that, and of course those people that the members of this Rambo fan club, they call those people who are against Rambo or anything that's old school. Anybody who hates anything old school, they refer to them as Murdochs.
I love that.
That's Murdoch because you know the character of Murdoch in Rambo First Blood Part 2. He's like the head honcho. He wants to run everything. Wants to control everything, but who wanted things his own way, but didn't get it. So it feels so it's like a story about going up against the system, you know.
Yeah.
Because all the Murdochs in the world wants to control everything. You know, they want to leave things to die, leave things to bury, something old school to die, like Rambo. Like that's how it is. That's how it is in Hollywood right now, because Hollywood has no respect for anything old school, because they want to remake old movies, and they want like of course like this recent story. News I heard about Fox remaking Escape from New York and all that crap. And how old school action movies like Rambo are being disrespected and not by a younger audience and stuff like that. So it really deals with those issues, those real life issues going on today, not just in Hollywood but around the world, especially in America, about, like I mentioned before, about ageism and generational issues.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a lot of old school versus new school. There's a lot of like old world practical filmmaking as opposed to nowadays CGI, candy coat everything. You know, taking the easy way out and paying less and going the route of CG. You know, I had a theory for a scene a week ago, or when I was on vacation, about the kids actually, you know, this is very much also a story of, you know, why can't both sides get along? You know, like
exactly
all through the movie you got the kids saying, oh, you know, you guys suck because you're stuck in the 80s. And we got the older people saying, no, this is how it was done.
They use the term nostalgic. They use the term nostalgic. They call them nostalgic. Well, you people are too nostalgic. Why don't you get out, move on?
But something I can relate to too, and I know you can, and a lot of other people, especially all those kids who went to see Meet the Spartans. It would be nice to have a scene at the end when Blair's walking out of town, and we kind of get a glimpse of these kids being like, fuck, man, did you see that Rambo movie? That was fucking crazy. The 50 fucking caliber ripped, guys fucking throw it out. You know? it would be cool to play on a note like that, you know, a nice ending note like that.
Exactly, yeah, and yeah, there was a scene where I was thinking about a scene like that where I mentioned how, because that's what creates the whole. I'm not going to give it away. That creates this whole climax through the whole movie after Rambo 4 opens, and how they affect the characters, and how the failure of the movie with Meet the Spartans kind of affected those characters, and it creates this crazy tension, and it leads to this crazy climax through the movie.
Yeah. I won't let the cat out of the bag. But it's grade A, man. It's a good script. We've been spending a lot of time on it, and it's changing constantly, and it's just getting to that plateau. You know.
Oh, absolutely. It's moving up.
Yeah.
Moving up, baby.